When one Soviet tank took down 21 German tanks in World War II Tank Alley. Under the command of Lieutenant Kolobanov, a Russian KV-1 shot down 21 German tanks in Krasnogvardeysk. It was deep inside the Russian territory a KV-1 tank dug in and waited for its target. The target was German armored vehicles, which might cross them at any time soon. The KV-1 was not alone. It had 4 other tanks as a company, but they were in reserve. It was a perfect scenario for one of the most famous ambushes in World War II. So much, so the road was named Tank Alley. Operation Barbarossa. Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany with a promise to fight against Jews, communists, and other groups. Once in power, to everyone's surprise, Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin. Both parties decided not to attack each other. The Soviet Union and Nazi Germany attacked Poland from 2 sides and split it into 2 parts. After the fall of France, Hitler drew the plan for the annexation of Russia. It was named Operation Barbarossa. Stalin, Russia's dictator, didn't prepare the Red Army for such an invasion. In the initial days of Operation Barbarossa, German Air Force or Luftwaffe eradicated the entire Soviet Air Force. The German army advanced several hundred miles into Russia, was threatening to encircle major cities. After the German invasion, Russia joined the Allies and received enormous amounts of war material from the United States and the British Empire. The Russian tanks were far inferior to the German tanks when Operation Barbarossa started. The Russian army was able to compensate for the low quality with numbers. The Russia armored vehicles went back to the drawing board. They designed the KV-1, which had thicker armor than its predecessor. Also, the armor-piercing shells fired by the KV's cannons could penetrate the German tank if aimed rightly. The specs of KV-1 were about to be tested. Tank Alley. On the 20th of August 1941, Lieutenant Kolobanov dug his KV-1 in Krasnogvardeysk. It was a curvy road, which meant the German traffic on the road must slow down. Lieutenant Kolobanov also had the support of 4 more KV-1. They hid in ambush positions near the road. Lieutenant Kolobanov instructed the other KV-1s not to attack unless required to do so, as it might reveal their positions. At 14 hours, a column of German motorcycles crossed the road, indicating a German armada on the way. To everyone's surprise, it was a German line of lightly armored tanks. Lieutenant Kolobanov instructed his gunmen to wait until they have a good view of the entire line. Once it was clear, Lieutenant Kolobanov asked his gunner to take down the lead tank. With one single shot, the lead tank turret blew off. The entire German line panicked and searched for the source of the shell. Lieutenant Kolobanov now asked his gunmen to fire at the rear tank, thereby blocking the whole force. With the last tank taken, the German tanks are sitting ducks. KV-1 took down one tank after another from its position. KV-1 also received heavy fire from German tanks, and at one point, its turret failed to rotate. Lieutenant Kolobanov asked his driver to take the tank out of hiding and use its wheels to position its turret to fire. KV-1 alone took down 21 tanks that day. As it ran out of ammunition, Lieutenant Kolobanov asked the other 4 tanks to start its fire, which took down a total of 46 tanks that day. After the encounter, the tank crew noticed that the KV-1 received 145 shots but luckily didn't explode. The road was named Tank Alley after the carnage. Russia was able to turn the war into their favor and drove Germany back to its territory, and won the war.